Today on Dan Comics we talk about Kang the Conqueror. Kang the Conqueror is one of the MCU's biggest villains. He's more of a Fantastic Four villain in the beginning. I know he's more of an Avengers villain. For the time they both shared him, so that it makes sense why Fantastic Four is not being introduced into the MCU so they could link him to Kang. Makes sense. Kevin Feige, intelligent fella. So and basically, the Kang is a time traveling conqueror. He's controlled different timelines. He's basically the conqueror that always wants to conquer and basically wants to control the whole timeline. Like basically wants to control the whole timeline. Like you've seen the TVA. If he has control, he has control. And nothing could go out of the way he wants things to be. In the comic books, kind of a bit more violent. Of course, we see his variant probably more violent than He Who Remains was, but his variants Kang the Conqueror, main Kang at least from the comic books. He's a violent fella. He wants to conquer, and if you do if you don't conquer, if you don't surrender and believe in his rule, it'll be violent with you. Of course, the Avengers and the Fantastic Four fought him on multiple occasions. He's won some, lost some. But I want to talk about the Kang Dynasty because the Kang Dynasty is going to be the first Avengers movie out of the two we get in the same year. Even though I believe the second movie will probably be pushed back to the next year to make it give some space, but right now, as of the MCU slate, will be on the same year. Now, the Kang Dynasty is a comic books about where Kang come to the 616 timeline, the main timeline, those superheroes, and basically took over. Like, the man took over. Like he took control of the timeline, took control of the MCU, became ruler. Of course, it ended with the Avengers beating him, because they had to win. So the Avengers beating him, but this might be a similar situation to the Thanos situation in which the Avengers lose the first Avengers movie and win the second one. I'm not sure if the MCU want to repeat what it did with the Infinity Saga by having two separate Avengers movies in which the win one and the lose one. Maybe they might do it, but clearly Secret Wars is going to be like this big superhero movie. It must, because Secret Wars is like every timeline, every universe, everything had to come together. Like that's gonna be awesome. Like please Marvel, please. So basically that. Another thing is too, Kang is kind of, in my opinion, I like Kang. I like Jonathan Majors as an actor, one of my favorite actors. Gonna be in Creed 3, so I'm watching that. Like Jonathan Kang, I feel like there's been enough build up to Kang, so I guess in Phase 5 will be a bit more build up to him. Whereas Thanos, there was build up clearly. You can see that more Infinity Stones was getting into play. Where with Kang is basically the Loki series and I guess you could say Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. Basically, those two things alone kind of tie into Kang. Basically, with Loki, obviously, Kang was the main villain of the Loki TV series. But besides that, Kang, they dealt with the multiverse, but didn't really entail with Kang. Whereas with the first couple of movies, you could see that they could defend Infinity Stones come into play. Thanos sent Loki to Earth to do this. But with this saga now, there hasn't been enough build up to Kang. Where if there isn't build up in if there isn't build up in Phase 5, you can kind of feel like did we really deserve Kang in the end? The Kang matchup in the end. So I don't know, Kevin Feige and Marvel will probably thinking about that as well. Cause come on, it's Marvel. I trust Marvel. I mean, Phase 4 wasn't the best work, but I like most of the movies. People may hate on it. I haven't seen Thor Love and Thunder yet. By the time this come out, I don't know if I'll be seeing it as yet. So I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't know how bad it is. People say it's one of the worst things Marvel has done, but we're not here to talk about that. So yeah, like I feel like if we get a Kang movie, and there aren't much more built up, I feel like of course something Ant-Man and the Ant-Man and Quantumania will help us with build up the Kang. Kang gonna be main villain of that. movie, Young Avengers, which is probably something that we're going to get in Phase 6. A lot of empty slots in Phase 6. The Avengers movie will probably be one of those movies. Young Avengers movie will probably be one of those movies. Movies, we might get some build up in Kang. We definitely had to get some build up in the Fantastic Four movie that going on open Phase 6. So there's a lot more build up. I believe we're going to get to Kang. And then with that now, the main TV series I'm looking forward to watching, just to be honest, with Kang, and especially with Kang until, is going to be Loki. Because Loki is going to be the foundational piece. Loki, I think people tend to forget that Loki is going to be one of the most important pieces in the multiverse saga. Loki season 1, there's a reason why Loki season 1 was the first appearance of Kang in the MCU. I think Loki is going to be a key piece. So I'm just trying to focus on Loki and see what Loki brings to the table. Of course, the Fantastic Four is going to be a key piece. So you imagine the Fantastic Four getting introduced. They're probably going to be in Kang Dynasty and in Kang Secret Wars. Then we also have the afterward. Now, what else could Kang appear in? Post-credit scenes, stuff like that. Legends and the Multiverse of Madness. While there was I'll say loose talks about the multiverse and Spider-Man No Way Home, I would say those movies weren't really like pushing towards Kang. They were just talking about how we have a big multiverse and stuff like that. So I don't know how much those movies were pushing towards Kang itself, but they were definitely multiverse movies that were tying into what would become Secret Wars. With incursions, thank you, Mr. Fantastic. Incursions. So with incursions where universes collide, and this is definitely set up for Secret Wars, because Kang will probably be the villain for Secret Wars, as I have said before. But I am not sure if there has been enough build up as yet to Kang. The only thing, like I said, the only thing we've really got to Kang build up is Loki season 1. So I'm not really sure. And then to think about it as well is like the Kang build up, right, is important, just like with Thanos, but Kang is also a different type of character to Thanos. Kang is a conqueror, whereas Thanos, I don't know how to explain. There's a difference between the two characters. That's a difference between two characters. In which Kang deals more with the multiverse and timeline, which the MCU is trying to cover. But then besides Loki, I know other movies are coming out that will tie into this. I've not really seen any other movies tying into Kang. He is your main villain, so we'll see. Phase 5 have to do a lot more tying in. I'm looking at the lineup for Phase 5. I'm not really sure which movie we'll see it in. I'm definitely gonna see it in Ant-Man and the Wasp. We're gonna see it in Ant-Man Quantumania. Definitely gonna see it in Loki season 2. I'm not really sure what else. Might get some post-credit scenes. Just a few things to link the movies together, which the MCU has always been able to do, and which Phase 4 kind of failed to deliver on. That's just what I believe. Thank you for watching today's video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, as it helps the channel out. Also share the video, as the more views, more YouTube pushes it out. This is Dan Comics, and catch you later.